There was a wise group of philosophers who once said the following words: let the good times roll. They were called the Cars. They were a rock band in the 1970s and 1980s. And I mean, that's where I'm at right now with the Houston Astros, who completed a 3-game sweep of the Cleveland Guardians with a 3-2 victory yesterday. That was the second of Chas McCormick's 2 home runs, carrying the day for an Astros team that, at least per Dusty Baker, did not play particularly well. Here is the manager of your Houston Astros.
I'm happy we swept and won the game, but we didn't play too good. We didn't play well at all, and so we still gotta, tighten up, especially if you're playing against a high octane offensive club. You can't give them that many chances and expect to win. So we're very fortunate to win that game today.
I wonder if Dusty would have said that regardless of yesterday's outcome, because if you're in this Astros clubhouse, you've got to be riding a massive high right now. You must be, to have Justin Verlander coming back, to only be a half game back of the Texas Rangers, who beat the worthless Chicago White Sox 11-1 yesterday. It would be nice if the White Sox wouldn't have admitted that they're going to try to compete in 2024 as they did yesterday. But I like that Dusty's trying at the very least to say, hey, we can work on a couple of things here. Because now you're going into a weekend series, and we'll talk a lot more about the New York Yankees against a team that has really underachieved on the American League side of things. And yeah, you did play them in the ALCS, but you swept them. And I'm now wondering, who with Justin Verlander back in the mix is a legitimate challenge to the Astros? We mentioned a couple yesterday. We mentioned the Atlanta Braves, who have been playing so well to start the year. We mentioned the Los Angeles Dodgers, who I think we'd all like to see in the World Series, so the Astros can shut them up for good with all that bitching and moaning they do about 2017. But truly, who is the biggest challenge for the Houston Astros? I'd prefer wrong answers today. 713-780-3776. 713-780-ESPN. Sean Mapes, what do you think the biggest challenge is going to be for the Houston Astros the remainder of this regular season?
Health.
Yeah.
Keeping these guys healthy.
You know what, Sean? I'm kind of bummed out that you said that because, one, they were so lucky with injuries last year. They really were. Two, they have not been lucky to this point, so you would think that the odds are in their favor. But three, this training staff might be Dr. Frankenstein. I don't know what the hell they're doing, and I'm sorry, I'm not a medical expert, I'm not a doctor, but good googly moogly, I do not trust any of them. With any injury, I could get a boo-boo on my shin, which I get from time to time when I'm walking around in the middle of the night, getting up at 5 in the morning and turning off the snooze button on my alarm, because I try to wake up at 5 every morning so I can go to the gym, but I don't actually do it. And along the way, I bump into this ottoman that's at the foot of my bed, it's where I store all my sheets and my blankets. But you don't care about that. I get lots of bruises on my shins, and I bet that the Astros would amputate my leg. So now, Sean, you've actually gotten me nervous. But wrong answers only. Actual challenges for the Houston Astros the rest of the way. I mean, there's the other obvious one. Themselves. Right?
Yeah.
That's sort of what Dusty Baker is intimating right there. Someone's hating on me for saying good googly moogly. I'm sorry. There is a song called Good Googly Moogly. That thing is juicy. And yes, I'm a white person, as highlighted by the bench this morning. I'm allowed to say that. Themselves. Because they do have to play better, I would say, from an offensive perspective. Bregman's been hitting better of late, but over the course of the year, Yordan Alvarez, you're hoping that he finally heats up. You did get that home run the other night. Jose Altuve's been playing pretty well. Kyle Tucker's obviously been awesome. And Chas McCormick, somehow you got to figure out a way to keep this going. Does anyone have any steroids? I'll do the P test for him. I'll do it. Well, you know what? I'll find someone to do the P test for him. I'll find someone to do it. No, I'm not doing steroids, Sean. No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, wait, you're not.
I mean, I do look ripped right now, but I'm not doing steroids.
Okay, I was gonna say, do you not want to do the P test?
No,
or are
I
you
just
worried that
thought
the P
about it,
test,
like-
you doing the P test would be counterproductive?
No, I just thought about the P test, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I feel like he might get in more trouble given baseball's policies. Does baseball still suspend guys like Jonathan Singleton 100 games for the ganja? Does that still happen?
I'm not,
Just
I'm not
asking
sure.
for a friend.
I'm not sure what their policy is.
I
I
don't
know
wanna-
the NBA and NFL have
Okay.
relaxed it.
All right, cool. Okay, but look, does anyone have anything for Chaz? And you know what? Let's dope him up. Let's keep this going. Look, I think a possible impediment for the Astros. Like, have they not found a new way to cheat? And I get it. Some people are going to get mad about that. But the best part about the Astros is that they always find a way to win, and I don't care how they do it. I do not care. Just do it. Does it take a little cheating? Great. What's Rob Manfred going to do? Take away, fire the general manager that clearly has no power? Dana Brown? Dana Brown got like shoved into a locker the other day. Like, it feels like that at the very least. Maybe it wasn't, but Jim Cray's like, hey, you better get Verlander. Comes into the office with his Letterman jacket on. Bagwell comes around the corner so that like there's nowhere for Dana Brown to go.
Cracking their knuckles.
Yeah, picks up Brown by the legs and holds him over a toilet. You get Verlander or you get the toilet. You get the swirly, son.
You have until 5, or else it's swirly o'clock.
What else is seriously going to be a challenge for the Astros the rest of the way? The training staff, that's a good one. Themselves, that's a good one. Here's a very pandery take. All of the options, they have so many, especially in the outfield. So many options right now. Who do you play?
They're too good.
They're too deep at outfield.
Too many outfielders, too many starting pitchers.
That's true. They have 8 now, Sean. What are they going to do? I mean, 2 of them aren't pitching this year, and Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers. But at outfield, you have, Chas McCormick and Kyle Tucker. They're playing every single day for you. It seems like, oh, wait, the Astros training staff is in charge of this. Well, maybe Michael Brantley comes back. You've also got Jake Myers, who's doing enough to have a pulse, but you probably don't want him out there very often. Mauricio Dubon's got nowhere to go. We do know he's Justin Verlander's personal center fielder. There's lots of options for them. And I suppose that lends itself to the next person that everyone dumps on. And probably if the Astros do disappoint in the playoffs or down the stretch, the guy who will end up getting the axe, even though it's probably not his fault, is Dusty Baker. We haven't seen as much Dusty Baker criticism of late, though, so that's been neato. 713-780-3776 to call in, to text in as well. You can join on Twitch, twitch.tv/ESPN975. Some of the Twitchers are suggesting I need an intervention. No, I don't. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Although, because I want to continue to ride the high of where the Astros are right now, I was convinced after a long day shopping for used cars, calling these places on the phone, driving all the way up 30, 40 miles away, only to find that the cars were not on the lot, even though the people that were at these dealerships told me they were on the lot. After all this driving, and after saying yesterday, when it comes to Drew Gilbert, when it comes to Clifford Franklin, is that his name? I don't even know. Ryan Clifford?
Ryan Clifford. I don't know who Clifford Franklin
Clifford
is.
Franklin's from the Replacements. I think he's the wide receiver in the Replacements. I don't know why
I was going to say it was the 12th president.
Clifford the Big Red Dog. Grover Cleveland. Yes. When you take a look at, the Astros doing what they're doing and living in the now, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to live in the now. So last night I was convinced by a friend to go out to a bar. And it was one of those nights where
tough convincing, I'm sure.
It actually did, Sean. I do not like to go out on a weeknight.
Oh, yeah.
I got to say, I'm not going to throw any places under the bus, but the place I was at, the amount of, I suppose the proper word to say is escorts that were at this place was hilariously high. And they were clearly escorts. There was no other way to describe it. It's a Wednesday, honey. Your tuchus is showing. But I went out there, and I don't need an intervention. No, I didn't do that. That's wrong. I would never do that. But they've got a job to do, and they were really trying to do their job. There's one person that, I spent the majority of the night just watching this one person try her best to set something up. And I could tell right away because she was just walking laps around this large circular bar area. And every single time that I saw her stop, like there were so many people. And I was like, oh, okay, I know what this is all about. I know. Everyone's on the Twitch asking me, where is this bar? Hit me in the DMs. You guys, I love you. You guys need help. I need the intervention.
You started that with, like, I don't want to blow up anyone's spot here.
I'm not blowing it up. I'm not blowing it up.
But also no free ads. So.
No free ads. Exactly. If they pay me, Paul Gallant here for a bar, hey, there's options.
Wink, wink.
Jeez. Anyway, it's the Paul Gallant Show, ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Someone on the Twitch is saying, Todd the Show, why are you judging escorts, Paul? I'm not. But one time in Seattle, someone tried to cancel me because I was highlighting that outside of the Chick-fil-A that I was eating at, there was a bunch of ladies of the night out there. And they were clearly ladies of the night. You let's be honest, guys. You can tell when somebody's trying to, do that.
To run a small business? Yeah.
Yeah, Sean. They've got the TurboTax home business profile.
Be your own boss. Dude, well, actually, a lot of them have bosses.
I suppose if you write your taxes, if you put this in your taxes, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Hang on a second. Is this who I think it is? 713-780-3776 to call, to text. I believe this is our friend Tab, the Rangers fan. Tab, hello, bud.
How you?
Tab.
I'm here.
Okay, I can hear you now, Tab.
Tab,
What's going
I'm
on?
here.
What's going on? Half a game up. You still feeling confident?
What's going on is the Rangers are still ahead of your Astros.
Yeah, but you just got the worst 40-year-old pitcher. You guys got Max Scherzer. He has two different colored eyes. That's neat, but he's not as good as Justin Verlander. Uh-oh, only a half game ahead, Tab.
Hey, but we've been doing it all season. You said by the end of start of April, y'all would be leading.
That is
April,
true. I think it was the start of June. I think it was the start of June, but you are right on that. But Tab, it's early in August. It's early. And I mean, this is probably how you guys felt
when it was early April. It's early.
But Tab,
it's early May.
Tab.
The fact is, we're still leading.
Tab, do you feel like Nelson Cruz felt when, the Rangers had the lead in the World Series and he's standing in right field and he's like, yeah, we're leading too. Do you feel like that right now? Are there ants in your pants?
No, I don't care. We'll go make it to the series, and we'll do it without cheating.
Oh, wow. Now that's a low blow. But, I mean, again, like at least we've got a World Series title. Oh, we've got two. Oh, Tab.
Only time they got anything worth anything, they had to cheat.
Oh, no, that was just the first time, and we got away with it too. Suck it. Tab. We like Tab, though. Tab, appreciate the phone call. 713-780-3776 to call in, to text in. Coming up next, seriously, what is the real impediment for the Astros the rest of the way? And I want wrong answers like we've been giving, because it's really just themselves. Like the Astros already are in first place.
Live from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, it's Paul Gallant. Join the conversation by dialing or texting 713-780-3776.
Chaz sends one high in the air to left field, all the way back, and we are tied up at 2. Chazzy Fizz. Chaz McCormick ties it up on home run number 14 on the year. 11 RBIs on the homestand.
We're still taking your texts, your Twitch comments, your tweets, and your calls about what's a real challenge for the Astros the rest of the way. I don't think it's really going to be the Rangers. I don't think it's really going to be any team in the American League. I think we'll learn a lot about the Baltimore Orioles in a couple of weeks when the Astros play them. But, I mean, shoot, like the Yankees are an afterthought going into this weekend. While we're mentioning Chaz McCormick, this is something else we could throw out there. Better story. Chaz McCormick from the ALCS on, the clutch hits he's had, the clutch catch he had in the World Series, the start that he has had to this season. He has 2 home runs yesterday and helps the Astros sweep the Cleveland Guardians. Or is it JP France, who had never been in the majors, comes up to the majors, and for a lot of this year has been the Astros' most consistent pitcher, like a significant portion. Two great stories. And yeah, the Astros are the evil empire, but every now and then, there are some feel-good stories, right?
I think it's Chas McCormick because of the catch in the World Series. I think that knocks it over the edge of because JP France is more out of nowhere. He's more of 28-year-old rookie, who is this guy? But Chas McCormick made plays in the playoffs.
If you're making a movie, you're making it about JP France. If you're talking about the better overall story, though, I would agree that it's McCormick because
it was also he went up against his home team in the World Series.
Yeah, he did,
and he ripped their hearts out.
Do you think he's welcome at Wawa's up in the greater Philadelphia area anymore?
Probably not.
I bet not.
Is that why he shaved? I noticed he a couple weeks ago he went full Paul Gallant baby face, and I was like, I wonder why he did that. Maybe over the All-Star break he went back home and was getting trash thrown at him.
Yeah, because most Philadelphians. Now you don't know this, Sean, because you didn't grow up in a family with people from South Jersey and Philadelphia, but every single person from the greater Philadelphia area, they have an egg in their pocket. You might think, no, that's just from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Danny DeVito. No, they all carry eggs around. And sometimes the eggs break in their pocket, but it's a tradition. It's a tradition that's been upheld since
Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin, right. He went to Paris, and he was doing all sorts of crazy sex stuff with the French, and they told him, hey, here's what we do, to really, keep our stuff, as good as possible. We put an egg in our pants. And unfortunately, over time, Philadelphians who have slowly devolved into barbarians, and I would know, again, I'm part Philadelphian by blood. They carry the egg around and then they throw it at people. That's science, folks. Look it up. It's on the internet. A lot of people right now are texting and no, Paul, that's not true. No, trust me. I'm half Philadelphian, I think. Paul Galaccio, ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. We did have a couple of comments. What are things that could actually be challenges for the Astros down the stretch? The biggest challenge is getting Dusty to fill out a lineup card that makes sense and doesn't have Jordan in the 5-hole. There we go. There's the one Dusty lineup freak-arounder. I do think you people need to get a life, but
yeah, Jordan's coming off injury. Kyle Tucker's was insanely hot there for a while. I get why he didn't want to mess with it too much, but eventually he will bat third.
It's just Martin Maldonado, guys. It's just Martin Maldonado. That is it. Alvarez has said himself he's not even 100% comfortable yet. To what you were saying, Sean, eventually it's going to happen. I think they just want to make him as comfortable as possible if he's going to be getting 5 at-bats a game potentially. Another comment. This team hasn't had 1 month where 3 or 4 players get on a run at the same time. It's been hot and cold all year. That's our biggest challenge. That's why you should feel good. Now, I don't know if they're going to go thermonuclear because offensively in the playoffs last year, they didn't. But I feel like that is actually in your favor. At some point, this is all going to work out, you would think, right? It's a long season. Can't some of these timelines line up?
Yeah, and a lot of the reason the offense has been bad is that for stretches this season, that guys were hurt. Jordan was out. Altuve's been out for 2 different stretches of the season. So, just having these guys healthy, just probability-wise, gives you a better chance of 6. If there's 7 of these guys in the lineup, well, 3 of them are going to be playing awesome at the same time, as opposed to there's only 4 of them in the lineup, and now the odds aren't in your favor.